to go down. Easy now, no need to go down.
Computer System Servicing, Preparing Installer, CSS. Learning Competencies. After this module, the student will be able to prepare their USB bootable drive installer according to the manufacturer procedure, and prepare their USB drive containing drivers and application software. How to create bootable USB from ISO. The type of bootable USB drive you are creating depends on the motherboard you are using. You need the ISO image file of the target operating system you want to install. That can be Windows 10, Windows 7, or any flavor of Linux like Ubuntu or Mint. Once you have the ISO image to start with, open any software from the list below. 1. Insert the USB pen drive of minimum 4 GB size. 2. The bootable USB drive making software will automatically detect and list the drive. Make sure you select the correct drive as all the data on the drive will be destroyed. 3. Now, click on Select button and locate the ISO image file of the operating system from your hard drive. And 4. Select the appropriate option for partition scheme and other options and hit Start. It will take around 15 minutes depending on your operating system size. If your motherboard is comparatively new, you may have to deal with the Uefi or the legacy BIOS if your computer is not that new. Both way, you can easily create bootable USB drive using all the listed software here. For old motherboard using legacy BIOS, first, select the ISO image file. From the disk icon behind, create a bootable disk using option. Do this first only because if you select other options first and the file later, the settings go to default after selecting the ISO file may be a bug. Select the target drive and file system. For Windows, keep it Ntfs. Select MBR partition scheme for BIOS or Uefi from partition scheme and target system type. Keep the file system, cluster size as it is, or you can change it to Ntfs for Windows and exFAT for Linux. You can give an appropriate name to the resulting bootable drive. ISO image on your hard disk must be a valid bootable image because Rufus scans the image before you load it. Click the Start button and wait for the process to complete. This may take up to 20 minutes. For new motherboard using Uefi motherboard most of the time need 64-bit Windows. Else, you will get Cloud Not Locate, Not Found error. If you get this error, you just need 64-bit Windows version. The 7th generation Intel CPU does not support Windows 7 or older. You must have Windows 10. Select the ISO image file of OS you want to burn. Select GPT partition scheme for Uefi from partition scheme and target system type. Ntfs as the file system. If you create bootable USB using MBR scheme, you may get an error like Windows cannot be installed. The partition is GPT type. Carefully check the options as above before you hit the Start button. Let's start. How to boot from USB drive. Once you have completed creating the bootable USB drive, it's time to install the operating system. For that, you have to boot from the USB drive. 1. Restart your PC and press the key F12 or delete depending upon the manufacturer of your PC. Sometimes, this key may be different. 2. Select USB drive as a first boot device from the boot menu. Look at the picture. Other things to do. Prepare or download the software driver for your motherboard and other components through internet. Prepare or download other application software you need for your computer system, such as antivirus, office productivity tools, games, photo editing tools, etc. Software program used to create bootable USB drive. 1. Rufus. Rufus is a simple and easy to use. It automatically detects your USB flash drive and capacity so you can easily identify which device you are formatting. The bootable USB drive can be created for newer hardware supporting Uefi or for legacy BIOS. You only have to select proper options from the list. Look at the picture at the right side. Second, RMPrep USB. It's all-in-one tool. Features come with a cluttered interface. If you don't know what are you doing, don't use it. I personally do not recommend it if you want a simple bootable USB to install a new operating system. RMPrep USB is specialized in creating multiple partitions in a single USB drive. You can install multiple ISO of the different OS or save user files along with the side of the bootable USB. Look at the picture. Third, Universal USB Installer, a specialized tool for creating bootable live Linux OS. It has a predefined list of most of the Linux distributions available. Give the path of ISO image and USB flash drive you want to boot from. Prepare a live antivirus rescue disk using it. A special option for this is also given for use CD. Look at the picture. Fourth, UMI. UMI, short for Your Universal Multi-Boot Installer. UMI allow you to prepare the bootable USB drive multiple operating system in one USB drive without formatting it. Fifth, UNet Boot-In. This tool is an exact clone of Universal USB Installer, or you can also say Universal USB Installer is a clone of UNet Boot-In. Create a bootable USB for any Linux distribution. If you are not using Windows as your host operating system, then UNet Boot-In is an option to go for. UNet Boot-In is available for Linux, iOS, and Windows. So, if you are using Linux, most of the softwares listed here will not run where UNet Boot-In will come to help. Computer System Servicing, Preparing Installer, CSS.
Easy now, no need to go down. Easy now, no need to go down.